This clip is brought to you by SaveWithConrad.com.
Our first meeting of the day today had the same kind of deal. Saw it. Yeah. So, all right, brother. Sacrifice 2009. That would be May of 2009. So dive in, pal. Dive in.
Yeah, this is going to be something people talk about maybe a little less. Sacrifice 09. By the way, we are going to get to finish the NWO 2000. I just thought, you know what? Let's let it breathe a little bit, take a break, and we'll come back. Today, though, Sacrifice 2009. This is, at this point in the company's history, we're still before Hulk Hogan and Eric Bischoff become involved. What's your position at this point in the company? What all are you doing here? Sacrifice 09, this time 2009.
You know, diving into the research and looking back, had a lot of, I'll call it unique memories, because from January of 2009 till about September of 2009 was the best consecutive run of ratings in the company's history. That was good. Our office staff was, I mean, we were running live events, our marketing, our PR, we had been turning a profit since Spike, but now, we're in the 2-hour era and the Main Event Mafia had come along. I was still wearing a lot of hats. And at this time, I'll say, this may be a little controversial. People are like, what the hell are you talking about? But I'll say, not that Vince and Dutch didn't work together good, but at this point, it wasn't kumbaya, but things were kind of grooving in a lot of ways. The ratings, we never threw in the flag, but we definitely wanted ratings. They were our priority because that's where our money was coming from in the most part. And we wanted to get a bump in licensing rights. So collectively, as a group, there was pretty much a consensus: keep the ratings going, keep the pay-per-view buys. They'll come if we get more people to watch the show. But that's all the positive, Conrad. The negative was when I looked at May of 09 in this research, because it probably started more, I don't even know if it started at the end of 08, but early 09, as we were rolling, I'll just say this: the Carters, and if we're getting specifically Dixie, began to get in the weeds more. And there were multiple conversations at our house in the creative between Vince and Dutch and TNA and others. And I just would be very clear with Vince, the more the Carters get in the weeds, the more they're going to see stuff. Not that we want to hide from them, but it's just very hard to understand. I said, you're opening up a can of worms, pal. I'm just telling you. And so that's the downside during this era. But, what was my role? I was a talent, creative. A lot of international stuff was going on. The tours, maybe we'd done 3 at this point of UK. We were looking for more. We were looking for some international, Middle East. We had a couple of Middle East tour offers. Things were, you can't say they were ever hitting on all cylinders, but they were rocking and rolling, and the profit was good, and our expenses were super manageable.
So we're coming off lockdown in Philadelphia, where Mick Foley won his first TNA title in the 6 Sides of Steel over Sting. Your team of AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe defeated Team Angle of Booker T, Kevin Nash, Kurt Angle, and Scott Steiner in the Lethal Lockdown match. Team 3D won the tag titles in a Philly street fight over beer money. We've also got the relationship with New Japan in full bloom here, as Team 3D are also the IWGP tag champs, and the Motor City Machine Guns are their junior heavyweight tag champs. We also see the debut of Bobby Lashley. So a lot coming off of that show. How important was the relationship with New Japan at this time?
When you look back on it today, it was just as important as I review the notes today. It was a huge deal. Financially, it was very lucrative, but from a creative and a perception, to sort of dive into it, the Mexican relationship, because there were ups and downs with AAA and with CMLL, but still we had a relationship with both major promotions in Mexico. Sometimes one was better than the other, but obviously New Japan, by far the biggest organization. Kurt was their champion. 3D was their champion. Motor City Machine Guns was their champion. I mean, we had a great working relationship, and for me and Dutch and others, it was really important. I'll say talent relations, Bob Ryder, Terry Taylor, whoever was in that slot. It was a great way to, guys to have tours. It was really, really important. On the flip side, I never saw Dixie or Vince really give it any tip of the cap that it was important to them at all, which was super disheartening. That's another episode to dive into. There's another thing that we'll get into in this episode that again is really to really dive deep into it and get granular, if you will be a Main Event Mafia episode. I know that's on the books for late in the year, which is going to be a lot of fun. But New Japan relationship was huge in so many ways for me.
So Foley's win is immediately questioned, and you talk in an interview with The Sun, which is over in the UK, about it. Quote, Jarrett says they will eventually push younger stars to the top, but it will take time. Jarrett also says they'll continue pushing the younger stars like Samoa Joe and AJ Styles until they become household names like Sting. Quote, you can go back 20 years, and when Sting was that generation's version of AJ Styles, he was a phenomenal athlete with no name recognition and was very good in the ring. It just takes time. Nothing replaces time in this business. So you're putting the guys over as best you can here. But at this point, AJ's been with you 7 years. Now I know you haven't been on TV, all of that, but do you still stand by that nothing replaces time in this business?
It's certainly pre-social media. Yes, I do. And that quote, I remember it specifically even way back when, but I remember today. I'm not going to say it was taken completely out of context, but they didn't give kind of the overarching thing is that, look, everybody's going to get their opportunity, and it does take time. I'm going to say that the veterans don't have near as much time as AJ Styles and others, but you've already hit on the big thing was that the guy actually said it from himself. He goes, now I know you've only been on Spike TV X amount of time, and you know, here in the UK, it's your exposure has fluctuated, but the challenge, this is pre-challenge. But anyway, so our exposure globally, the AJs of the world weren't quite what a Sting and a Mick Foley and these others were. So I do, again, I think social media has escalated everything by exponential, but it does take time to get established. It's just really that simple. I mean, I think in a lot of ways you can look at AEW today. Nothing replaces time. It just doesn't.
Hey, it's Conrad Thompson. Thanks for checking out the podcast here on YouTube. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the notifications bell so you can notice anytime we upload some new content. And go save yourself some money right now. If you're in a 30-year loan or you have credit card debt, it's not a matter of if I can save you money. It's a matter of how much. Find out right now for free at SaveWithConrad.com.